Thank you. Leg day's a bitch. So basically, this is what you wear when you've given up. So my wife and I, we grew up in Brooklyn. We're both Italian, and a lot of the stereotypes of Italians really are true. Particularly my wife. She talks with her hands a lot. She's waving them. Sometimes she looks like she's landing planes on an aircraft carrier. She broke her wrist a couple of years ago, and she developed a speech impediment. She just stood there going, People asked, how did I know she was the perfect girl for me? Well, when we were dating, we went out, we went to a steakhouse, we're sitting there, we're eating steak. She puts a piece of steak in her mouth. All of a sudden, she starts choking. Before I could get up and help her out, she puts her entire hand into her mouth and pulls this chunk of steak out. At that point, I knew she was the right girl for me. I went out and I bought an engagement ring the next day. I asked my dad for some marriage advice. And I said, Pop, tell me, what do I need to know about getting married? Give me some advice. He says, you need to know 2 words. Yes, dear. Which struck me as kind of unusual because I never ever heard him say that to my mother. So I went to see my grandfather, right off the boat, Italian. I said, no, tell me, what do I need to know? I'm getting married, I want to have good advice, I want this to work. He says, well, this girl, she's Italian? I says, yes. He goes, she's a Sicilian? I says, yes. He says, well, I can tell you one thing, you can tell a lot about this girl by her hands. If they're wrapped around your throat, she's pretty pissed off. Did you know that prior to Amazon, there was Italian Amazon? We just called it, I Got a Guy. This guy would have lots of stuff that fell off the truck. We furnished the house. We got all our wardrobes. We even got snow tires from this guy. The downside, no return policy. You know, I grew up with a very strict Italian mother. A lot of times I catch her beating with a wooden spoon, which was, you know, when I was little, it worked. When I got a little bit bigger and I started lifting weights, she came at me with the spoon one time. I grabbed it and I cracked it in half. She really got pissed off. It was her favorite spoon for sauce. So she said to me, you just wait until your father gets home. But the joke was on her. Dad worked 3 jobs. When he came home, he wanted to eat, sleep, and get a little nookie before he had to go back out to work. You know, Italians are pretty interesting. You can't go to a party with a gift. We don't give ninja bullets when we go to a party. You show up with an envelope, and in it there's cash. Sometimes there's a card. I inherited my grandmother's black and white marble notebook from the 30s. And in this notebook were all of the gifts for all the parties. Communions, christening, confirmations, weddings, engagements. The funny part is my grandfather, my Italian grandfather off the boat, would make little notations in it. Cheapest son of a bitch, only give it $10. I'm at the uncle, I should be at table of 1 and take a $20 out, and so forth and so forth. I'm from the generation where rub some dirt on it was a medical marvel. I played a lot of sports as a kid, and I heard that phrase, rub dirt on it, rub dirt on it. So I'm catching a doubleheader. By the second game, about the 5th inning, I couldn't move anymore. I had taken about 4 foul tips off home plate right into my crotch. So I told the coach, coach says, go rub some dirt on it. So I go behind the stands, I'm rubbing some dirt on it. It's feeling good, but not better. In about 3 minutes, I end up with dirty balls and a handful of mud. Some of you may get that on the way home. You know, the pharmaceutical industry is pretty interesting. They do these glitzy commercials. They have a 70s disco or classic rock song playing in the background. And then they get into the side effects. And, you know, I'm no chemist, so I really don't understand the science behind it. But how could one drug have a side effect of constipation and diarrhea? I mean, the science just doesn't work for me. The other thing that blows my mind is some of these drugs, the side effect is you can get swelling in your perineum. That's the space between your genitals and your rectum. Silly me, I just thought that came from eating 2 bins of Oreos a day. You know, at this age, you start losing friends. You know, because they're getting old, they pass away. But you get a whole new group of people around you, and that's your doctors. So, my cardiologist passes away suddenly. I have to go to the memorial for his life, and I walk in, behind the casket's a giant heart, and it's got all covered in flowers. It's absolutely beautiful. So all the eulogies happen, the heart opens up, the casket slides in, and he's entombed in this heart for all eternity. I hear laughing coming from the back of the room. So I hobbled to the back of the room, and I said to the guy, why are you laughing? He said, "Well, my friend, my name is Dr. Tim Patel, and I was just thinking of my own funeral. You see, I'm a gynecologist." The proctologist fell out of his chair. I got one quick one. I'm down in Key West, I'm doing an open mic, and there's a big black comic on stage. And he's talking about being the only black guy down in Key West. I'm sitting in the front, and I said to him, "Well, not today. The Carnival cruise ship just came in." He calls me a racist piece of shit, and then he says, "Yeah, we do like Carnival." All right, that's my time, everyone. I'm Uncle Rocky.